Hi everyone, I'm back with another video. This is week 12 of the 52-week project, and today I have a picture of my little doggie. That's April. As you can see, I took a bunch of images. The ones I selected out, I do a little quick 5-star rating. I'll go through the images. I'll hit either the space bar. After you select an image, hit the space bar and it'll bring it up to full screen, and hitting the arrow keys allows you to scroll through the images. And you hit Control or on a Mac Command and either 1 through 5, and what that'll do is it'll add a star to the image. So if you hit Command or Control 1, you see in the lower corner here it added 1 star, 2 stars, 3 stars, 4 and 5, and that's respectively to the numbers I'm hitting. If you hit 6, 7, 8 or 9, that'll change the colors and it'll put a color marking onto it. I usually only use 4 or 5 stars and 8, which will give me, say, green, which that's the image I'll be using. And if you want to take them off or remove them, just hit the same number. So I hit Control 8 for to remove the green, and I'll hit Control 5. Or I'm sorry, Control 0 will remove the stars. Okay, and hit Escape, and it'll escape you back out of it. Now I'm just going to hit over here in the filter. I'm just going to hit the 5-star ratings there, and I only selected 4 of them. Those are the ones that I liked, and as you can see, these 2 have green on there, so those are the ones I actually approved. This is the image we're going to work on. Right click on this little sliders thing, shows that there was settings on there. I'm just going to remove that. Go to develop settings, and then clear settings, and that just removes it off of there. Okay, so I'm going to double click the image. I'm going to open it up in Camera Raw. And originally when I did this, I just opened the image up. I thought it looked okay, and I came back in. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to edit it in Camera Raw and save some time on the video here. I'm going to create a new adjustment brush, and as you can see, my previous settings are already in here. I used an exposure value of 1.15, which is basically 1 stop over, and the noise reduction was moved up just to get rid of a little of the noise. Because when you brighten an image, especially in a dark area, what tends to happen is it brings out the noise in the image. So by increasing the noise reduction over here, removed a lot of that noise. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit here. I won't go too much because I won't be able to see what I'm doing. I'm just going to increase my brush size a bit and just start painting here around the eye. And then increase the brush size. Let's paint along the edge here and a little bit over here. Increase it and just paint up here a little bit. I'm going to back off. You can see what I was doing. And I think this looks pretty good. Maybe a little bit more over in here. Maybe a little here. Just hover over and you can see what I did. Okay. And that's pretty much it. I'm just going to open it up as Smart Object in Photoshop. And I'm going to close the history there. What I want to do is focus the image, on her eyes. Because that's pretty much any time you take a portrait, whether it's an animal or a person, you want to focus on the eyes. So I'm going to hold down the Alt key, it's an option on a Mac, and click the new layer icon. and that opens up the new layer dialog box. I'm just going to name it Vignette. I hope I spelled that right. And just click OK. And then I'm going to hit B to open up to have my brush there. And then hit F5 to make sure I have my transfer set on to pen pressure, so I can do the opacity jitter. So the lighter I press, the less pigment or ink or paint will come off the brush. And I do have it set. You can actually see it here in the window. And just hit F5 again. Increase the brush size. And just start painting in the vignette around the corners here. Get rid of that pink there. And around the side over here, get rid of some of this white of her little pillow she's laying on. And down in the corner here. And this corner as well. That might be a little too much, but go a little bit heavier, and then I'll just make a little down there too. And then I'm going to back it off just a tiny bit with the opacity. And that looks pretty good right there. Get a little bit right there, and a little tiny bit there. That up just a tiny bit. Okay, I think that looks good. Oh, I could keep playing with this all day. Okay, alright, the next thing I think I want to do work on her eyes a little bit and brighten those up just a little. So what I'm going to do is create a little dodge and burn layer. Once again, I'm going to hold down the Alt or Option key on the Mac and click the New Layer Icon button. Oops, New Layer Icon. And I'm going to call it Dodge / Burn. And then I'm going to change the blending mode to soft light. And then tick this little box here. It says fill with soft light neutral color, which is 50% gray. And then click OK. And now it looks like nothing happened. That's because of the blending mode. Gray will not show up on a when it's set to either overlay or soft light. Any grays 50% gray will not show up. So now I'm going to change over to my Dodge and Burn tool. This is the Dodge tool here. I just got to that by hitting O. And with my midtones selected at a 50% exposure. And you remember I'm also using the pressure sensitive tablet, so it's still taking the brush settings I had set before from the actual brush that I had set up. So I do have the transfer still on, and it's set to the opacity jitter, so the lighter I touch, the less it will affect the image. Okay, so now I'm going to zoom in so I can get a good look at our eyes here. Move over here, and I'm just going to paint in to lighten up these areas here around on her eyes. And it's like any other time that you've seen me do this. It's just bringing out the light that's already in the area. Now we should know pupils should be black, so what I'm going to do is hold down the Alt key. Now it doesn't look like anything happened, but what it does is it toggles between the dodge and burn tool, so as I paint, it will just burn using the same settings that are up here, 50% and on midtones, but it just switches over to the burn tool. And I'm just going to paint the pupil in, because the pupil should be black. Now I let go of the Alt key. I'm just going to touch up a couple spots there and move over to the other eye. And this one you got to be careful with, because there's a little bit of noise in there to begin with, so I don't want to go too much here, because then you're just going to bring out the noise and it's going to look weird. And I'm holding the Alt key again. I'm just going to paint the pupil in. As you know, pupil should be black. And I'll paint a little bit on this highlight. I've let go of the Alt key, by the way. Just paint a little bit of the highlight here. And I'm going to zoom out now. And let's turn this on and off so you can see what happened. And just brighten her eyes up a little bit, that's all. And now, which is almost done. She was a little tired when I took this picture, so I kind of want to make her eyes opened a little bit. So what I'm going to do is shift click on this bottom layer here to select them all, and then hold Control, Alt, and Shift, or that would be Command Option Shift on the Mac, and hit E, which will stamp these to a new layer. And with that new layer selected, I'm going to go up to Filter, Liquify, and make sure the bloat tool is selected. I got a nice big brush here. Let me shrink it down just a little bit, and I'm just going to click on her eye, make them just a little bit larger, and then hit OK. It does its thing, and it wasn't much of a change, just a little change. Wow! Wow! Okay, sorry. And that's pretty much it. I normally do a little sharpen on this, but I'm going to go to full screen, zoom in one, and there you go.